Last time on the GameCola podcast, episode 42. With the staff of Turnabout Musical guest starring, the podcast set a world record for the most people talking about Phoenix Wright in a single podcast. Matt Jonas didn't get his question read, and people randomly broke into song. What will happen this time? Find out in the exciting conclusion of the GameCola podcast, episode 43.
We had one more question on the website.
Well, I've got a new question though.
Oh, okay.
This will
Poor
be a
Matt
quick
Jonas
question.
is never going to get his question read.
I know we'll get to it, but
faith.
this is a random question that came up. Everybody, let's just go through a list and say what state each person lives in, just to see if anybody lives in the same area.
Okay.
Well, I'm from Los Angeles, and I just recently moved to Virginia. And I'm
My house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you say you're
Okay,
from Virginia?
Virginia, people, glorious Republic of Virginia. Number one export is being orphan.
And this is Maxwell's again. I'm actually from New York, which is why I talk too fast and probably have a funny accent. I was from Long Island, but I also live with Pleady and Essa in Virginia. Not Virginia, Virginia.
I'm from Louisiana. We got beignets. We're good.
I guess if we're talking about state of origin, I'm from California, and then Chicago, and then Florida, and then I came to live here a couple years ago, and now I live with Maxie and Pleady.
Who was next on the list? Was that Amy and Joel or Aaron?
I think so.
You skipped me.
We skipped
like
Aaron
a
Knight.
jerk.
Charm.
That's because you're a lamer. God, jeez.
Because you ditched us here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Virginia, and as soon as they moved out there, I moved out to Seattle.
Good choice.
Avoiding them?
Problem Tom
Possibly.
community.
Classic Tom.
To be fair, Tom, I don't blame you. The West Coast is the best coast.
Not where he is. He's in Seattle.
That is not
never
true.
mind. Kill yourself.
Totally true.
That is a false statement.
And then Joel and I was born in Colorado, moved to New York State, upstate New York, and then moved back to Colorado. So me and Joel both live here.
Yep, I started in California, but that was only until I was like 11 years old. Then I moved out to Colorado.
Funny tidbit, in the musical, the courthouse that Phoenix goes to is based on a real courthouse in Los Angeles. Since I lived in Los Angeles, I wanted it to be based on one that's actually there. And they wanted a fountain. Everyone wanted there to be a fountain. So I looked for a courthouse that had a fountain. And so I picked the Stanley Mosque. So if you look up pictures of the Stanley Mosque courthouse in Los Angeles, you'll see the fountain that looks just like our fountain in the musical. And the courthouse is the same as the Stanley Mosque one. And that's why Phoenix runs by Mosque Park. It's the Stanley Mosque courthouse.
Try didn't even know that.
That was new to me.
And I didn't even know that.
Classic try. Also, Amy?
Yeah.
I knew that.
I didn't know the story behind it. I was just
And
like,
that's
oh, it's
what it
based
is.
on stuff in LA. Okay.
We
Yeah,
still
it's
have
based
to
on
hear
real-
from Mystery Matt, so he can tell us tales of his fantastic foreign lands.
Yes.
Aren't you from Mexico or something?
No, he's from America's
Yeah,
Hat.
you more like you're our shorts, but I digress.
No! You're the hat,
Cover your
America's
Mexico, their
bodybuilder, and
Yeah,
Mexico's
Mexico's
pants,
his shoes.
okay?
No, Mexico's stiletto heels.
No, that's South America.
Oh, jeez.
No, but in all seriousness, I'm Canadian. I'm from the Greater Toronto area mostly, and I just recently moved to Connecticut after getting married.
Hey, Connecticut, represent.
Oh, and FF3 girl, or Sarah, is also Joel's sister. She is now living nearby Triforce Fun. She moved to Louisiana, so she was here and then is now in Louisiana.
It's my fault.
It is your fault.
We all blame you,
All
Tri.
your fault, Try.
No, guys, give me the credit.
Okay, we all
it's all
blame
your
you,
fault,
Lucia.
Lucia.
It's all Pleady's
It's all
fault
your
that
fault.
Sarah likes
Hey, to
Try.
be fair, I was there when she was all crushing on him, and it was so cute.
Mm-hmm.
It was so sweet, it gave me diabetes.
Uh-oh. Sorry about
Hey,
that.
what about those cookies you made me make the other day?
So question 5.
Yes.
Question 5?
Oh, back to the business.
This is the Matt Jonas question.
Oh,
Alright.
Do they know who Matt Jonas is?
No, they have no one. He's a writer for the website.
Way to go,
Oh.
Paul.
Is he part of the Jonas Brothers?
Oh, Lord.
He is the missing Jonas
Is
brother.
he the ugly one? Wait,
I wonder
that's
how much he gets asked
He is
that.
the-
I thought you
he's the
said
handsome
Donuts brother at first. Gosh, I need to eat something.
Yeah, I'm kind of
First waffles and now donuts.
Anyway.
Or
All right.
the Jonas question.
If
Yes, yes.
if Mia Fey could possess any character in the series, and not just those from the Fey family tree, which character would you like to see her possess? It really boils down to who do you think Mia would look sexiest dressed up as?
I think this is an easy question for me. Easy question. I think if Mia could possess anyone, she should possess Lana. Why? Because no one can tell them apart, right? So she could just run around doing whatever she wanted, and everyone would still think it was Lana. Like, she could just troll. Like, she could go up to 20-year-old Edgeworth and be like, hey, you want to go out for coffee sometime? Yeah. And, like, totally mess with him. And she would have no responsibility because everyone would think it was Lana because they're so similar. Yep, troll Mia should possess Lana. I agree.
Well, here's the question. Who do you want to see with big boobs?
I think Larry would enjoy that.
He would. No, he wouldn't because she'd be challenged.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if he saw pictures later, he'd be like,
true.
man. Larry would enjoy it.
I mean, if you're talking to Gumshoe, do you want to say, like, hey, Gumshoe, would you like to see what Maggie looks like with gigantic boobs?
No, but they don't get the boobs. They turn into the person. They don't get.
No, yeah, they do get.
It doesn't work like that.
They get boobs. Oh, they get boobs.
I mean, if you look at like,
The question is really, who would you like to see Mia Fey cosplay as?
Pretty much.
How did this question turn to the size of breasts?
Well, it's a question about Mia Fey. What other direction is it going to go?
Okay, when Pearl, or Mia or Maya, I forget which one it is, possesses Pearl, what is the first thing you notice?
The mole on her face. That's the first thing I noticed. Mole on her face.
Yeah, but that's the female. So,
Oh yeah.
The first thing I notice is
the mole.
The track plan in her mind. She's such a brilliant woman. The bosom of justice.
you never see
justice.
you never see male characters get channeled or doing this. And that would be a weird.
Awkward. I wonder if Misty Fey was wearing like a short skirt, like a short channeling dress, like Maya when she channeled Gregory. In which case, were his legs like all hairy then, and like. What did he think? Like he woke up and he was like, "What's going on here?" Or did
it's one of the stranger aspects of the game, I think. The whole
and if a Fey woman channeled a man, could she then get someone pregnant? I mean, how does that work? But it still be the woman's DNA because it's her body, but she's
topic
channeling.
is going to weird places.
Yeah.
Really.
We hit the.
we're gonna get some fan art of this one.
Yes.
God, all the family copies.
Fan art.
To be fair, this is going weird, but to be fair, you're asking us these questions. But I actually have a question for the GameCola guy. I actually have a question. Why are there no questions about art?
Because nobody likes us, Maxie.
Tell us about your process in creating art.
Right now.
Oh, look, they had a question about art.
I trolled for it. Hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're not good interviewers, that's why.
Let's do it in order. Let's do Maxie, then Mimi, then Amy. How's that sound? Sure.
All right.
First, because that's
art. Okay.
I'm just one less.
Well, whatever.
I'm the alpha and the zeta.
Alpha and Omega.
And Omega isn't the end. The middle.
But you're
You're
not
at the beginning and the middle.
Yeah.
Anyway.
On topic.
Yeah, so the art process. Actually, this kind of depends on what part of the art you're talking about, because there's different aspects to the art. If you want to go back as far as the CD, that was a lot of, we held votes and a bunch of people did like the artwork and we submitted it and we tried voting on it or giving people feedback to see, how good we can get it. And then we ended up revamping it like 2 or 3 times because we weren't just satisfied with it, even with the votes. And it ended up getting to a stage where we actually all liked it. And because I'm a workaholic and insane, basically like people would do all the art, I'd tell them what to fix, I'd go back and help them fix it, or if they had problems with the software. Because a good number of our artists are actually very young. I think there's very few artists that are over 20, really. We have like 3 that are like minors and a couple of like fresh into college, and then there's a couple like 2 or 3 graduates. And so it's kind of like we're all different stages, so like the process is kind of like fluid. Like if they need help with the software or the art, then we all come in and do our stuff. And then for like the way the animation worked, it kind of started off with trying to find a style, trying to get everyone to be able to draw the style, figuring out what that style was, and then figuring out what it is now, and then figuring out how to make the people who can't do the style as well do some form of work that would help the people that can do the style well, breaking up backgrounds and foregrounds and coloring and whatever we needed to do to make things get done. And it was like a really, it's still kind of in process because we're still doing stuff that we're not sure, because people come, people go, people have, busy schedules and whatnot. And it's like kind of a timey-wimey thing.
Wibbly wobbly.
Wibbly wobbly.
Timey-wimey.
Just watch this be the part where everyone just exits out of the window.
Shush, no.
Oh.
No. This is interesting because
You're right.
I was a cartoonist for 6 months and I can't draw my characters the same way twice. I have no idea how
I have that
animation
same
would
problem. That's why I'm on the coloring team. That's easier.
Yeah.
You said Essa was next or Amy was next?
Yeah, go ahead and
I think Essa was
then
next.
coloring gets it last. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maxie was talking a lot about a lot of our artists being young and kind of the lead of the characters team, and I'm 17 years old. So that's interesting. But as far as the characters process goes, Maxie will basically tell us we need to do stuff, and I'll put out a sketch since everything's my style anyway, and then show it to pretty much whoever's on at the time and get critiques and stuff. Usually, of course, it's Maxie.
Yeah.
But if she okays it, then I can do line art, and then I can send it off to Amy for coloring.
Indeed.
And that's the super exciting process.
Yeah, the S's art is awesome anyway, so.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and then with the coloring portion of it,
For the uninitiated, what is line art?
Line art? Oh, it's like
Yeah.
when you're drawing in
find you a link.
style, it's like the pen lines.
It's like if the entire thing was a coloring book. That's what it looks
Yeah,
like.
coloring
Oh.
lines basically. That's a good.
So, Amy, why don't you just...
That's a gumshoe explanation.
That's a good gumshoe explanation.
What do you do with the
So I
pencil mark?
basically fill out the coloring book, and I assign
I
tasks.
can't erase. It doesn't work. It doesn't.
Then use a pen.
Here. Sorry, I'm gonna have a
Yeah.
breakdown.
We do it completely digital coloring. We make palettes so that we know what colors go with which character. Finalize those, and right now we're working on turnarounds, character turnarounds. So it's like facing front, facing back, and facing side, all angles of the character. Finalizing color palettes and making things look pretty. And that's pretty much in short of it.
I actually want to come back there and amend some stuff, just because I'm obsessive.
I did something wrong again, didn't I?
No, well, you've left out. There's some of our artists that can't do the digital stuff very well because they're still learning it or they don't have access to the software. We'll do hand sketches and then scan their work and then submit it to whatever team the character designs or background. And for what we did for August Day, actually, and I'm saying this because pretty much they were doing that on the side, and then the background team was working separately. Except I was like 90% of the background team. And
I was 90% of characters.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was kind of mixed. But the way we're doing like the characters, so someone will do a sketch, they'll scan it in, and then we'll get confirmations or corrections, and I'll do some corrections too. I don't have and we'll do the style or we'll do the line art or whatever it is, and it's a lot of feedback. But then, so that's like for the character side. For the coloring side, we try to divide up as much as we can because you do have to make sure like the shading is consistent from frame to frame and things like that. But like the characters, with the outline, the coloring book, line art that we have, and then the coloring that goes into it, those are all done with those two teams. The background team was really complex, and it was really hard to do because it really had the least number of people. And that since some of the people had a hard time with perspective, Google SketchUp?
Nope.
Alright, it's 3D software powered by Google. We had to download that and build our rooms in Google SketchUp. Then because we wanted an organic flow to the background, we had to then trace those things in the screenshots we needed, draw them, scan them in, color them with the watercolor brush. That's our backgrounds. And that's why if you look at the August Day animation, the backgrounds are the way they are because we had multi-steps in how to do that.
Okay,
That's
so
how
another question about the art. So is this entire thing going to be like, how much art is going to be done for this? Because all we've seen is art for August Day. It's like
That's
the
not
entire
God.
animated.
Back on August Day.
This is
Take a
actually
wild
something I
stab at
wanted
how many
to.
frames are in August Day.
This is actually something I wanted to talk about towards the end. Joel, who's my assistant director, and I were actually talking about this. What I want to say is at this time, what we're really working on is storyboarding, finishing up character designs. They're almost all finished anyway. But mostly the focus is on finishing the storyboards. We may have something for Reawakening for people to see soon. But other than that, we really can't comment on that too much because it's a work in progress. But we're trying to produce the best product for you possible.
So, and then, just because Amy mentioned it too, because it turns out that only like 1 or 2 people knew Flash, and they didn't know enough Flash to get a good enough result for what we knew, or what we wanted. That's why our musical isn't done in Flash. It's all hand-done stills, individual frames, one by one, backgrounds, and all the backgrounds are reused a little bit, but, the characters are each individually drawn because we couldn't use the Flash. That's why it's keyframed the way it is. Because we have 140 frames, something like that, 130 or 140.
Yeah, just about.
Individual.
Yeah, 140 I think it got to.
Yeah, and that's just characters, and the backgrounds are another whatever.
And it's just one song.
Yeah. So.
I mean, 140 frames when you're talking about a 3 or so minute song isn't that much when you're talking about real animation, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. But we don't have a studio filled with paid animators.
Yeah.
Right.
So I got a question. In the August Day song, then at the end, there's like the animation of Phoenix like sliding and he goes forward and backwards. How did that happen?
That's Kukin. He's our British guy. He's one of the few that know Flash and Premiere and stuff. And Kukin's great. He's actually going to school for animation. He's from Wales. He's our guy there that knows animation. And he knew enough of like a couple little tricks that he kind of threw in various parts, like making. I think he made the blanket fall, or he made some sound effects, or he made the bus move across, and little things like that he could do because it didn't require changing the model or the character. It was taking a set object and then moving that. So he could do that stuff without destroying the overarching image of the art that we had produced. So that.
Can I just say, I think it's hilarious you threw in, he's from Wales, like, as if by way of explanation, he's a project's standard Welsh animator.
Welshie!
Alright, guys, let's move on.
And just to add, I think he did all those effects in Vegas, Sony Vegas, if I remember.
He used 3 different programs to do various things.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Sony Vegas was one of them.
Either way,
Yeah, he basically rendered the entirety of August Day for us. Kukun's awesome.
Any other questions? Or I hate to be the only person asking questions. Paul, come up with a question.
Oh, we already used up my list.
What?
I do have something to say though.
I got a question, but
sure.
if someone wants to go ahead, that's fine.
No, say the question.
Ask.
Go for it.
Just because Avenue Q came up, I'm curious sort of what your inspirations are as far as, musicals.
Oh.
For me?
Where do we start?
My favorite... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
My biggest inspiration when it came to musicals was Turnabout Musical, the Phoenix Wright musical project.
That's a good one.
What?
That's a good one.
Kind of musical is
Good
that?
choice.
That's the worst musical I've ever seen.
It's pretty lousy, but I love it.
You know what my favorite musical is?
What?
Into the Woods.
Oh, that's a good one.
Into the woods.
But do you have a basket?
I will say right now, if any of you mention a Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, I will proceed to shout at you for an hour and a half.
Okay, as far as Andrew Lloyd Webber, not gonna lie, when I was a teenager, Phantom of the Opera was like one of my first musicals and I loved it. But now, when I was a teenager.
It's fine.
Right. Looking back now that I'm older and hopefully wiser, I think he's crazy. I think Andrew Lloyd Webber is, I think he's like M. Night Shyamalan, where he's just gotten crazier and crazier.
Andrew Lloyd Webber may be crazy, but I will admit I have a certain fondness for Jesus Christ Superstar.
But see, that was his first one, so I think that was before he was completely...
And besides, that's a rock opera, not a musical, so...
And this is regardless of any religious beliefs, whatever, we're talking just about music, right? And the show itself, right?
Sure.
But I think that is probably his best work, and I think it's because that was his earliest work. So I think that's before he went totally crazy. I think it's like M. Night Shyamalan, where you see The Sixth Sense is a good movie, and then after that, it's like, it just gets crazier and crazier. I think
I finally watched the Airbender
I was
movie.
in my high school
Oh my
production
gosh.
of the Animating Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh. Yeah, who
Joseph
did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat?
Yeah, that was Weber.
That was Weber? Oh, okay.
That was Weber.
My favorite musical is Les Miserables. I love Les Miserables.
I love Les Miserables.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the big inspirations for me for writing a lot of the songs.
Personally, I'm not terribly picky.
Sorry, I'm a Sondheim fan.
I really
so
like the Book of
I'm
Mormon.
picky.
The Book of Mormon!
I need to see Book of Mormon.
It's coming to our area.
Yeah.
Jill and I are going to go see it.
Yes.
Guys, I'm going to expose Tri's secret.
Very true.
I'm gonna expose Tri's secret.
Let's
You know
pussy.
my favorite song in the musical? It's gotta be the Butts.
It's the frickin' Chocobo song, Try.
It is not the Chocobo song.
It's not.
It's got a similar cadence.
There's a similarity to it, and so I'm like, Try. I think Try video games are a big inspiration for you, period.
I'm ripping off Milky Road now.
So we got anything else?
I do have something I want to announce and kind of give to end this with. We have the audio for our official trailer. We're still working on the animation for it. But how would you guys like to hear the audio?
That would be awesome.
Yay.
Yay, audio.
Premiere for the
We still
first
have
time
to sing
ever,
off.
officially. I think someone leaked it before, but officially, for the first time ever, we're announcing the Phoenix Wright musical trailer audio here on this fantastic GameCola article, so podcast, whatever this is.
Whatever this
That
is.
thing with the talking.
Yeah, we got
This
this
With talking
weird
and speaking.
hijacked thing.
So,
I think we hijacked, yeah.
Yeah, but we hijack everything.
We do hijack everything.
We hijacked an entire con, for God's
yeah,
sake.
we did.
Yes, we did.
took over
Oh
Icon.
gosh.
Guys, at Icon, we would run into random rooms, and if the panels were boring, we would take over them.
Oh, they did.
This is live. This
It
happened.
really wasn't. It
So-
really
Like, we
Since
ran
it's,
into one, and I
We
just
were in
like
charge of half the
Hangman.
panels.
I started playing Hangman on the board, and I think the one I wrote was Professor Layton in the Vicarious Village. And my brother got it. Your brother got it. And then we did a whole panel on the fly about is Edgeworth gay, straight, or bi, or whatever.
Yeah.
And the conclusion was Forever Alone.
It was
Wow.
It was
That's
even
funny.
better. That panel was even better because MM and I were both cosplaying as different. Like I was young Edgeworth and he was older Edgeworth, and then we barged into the room at the end, and they're like, "No, he's this. No, he's this." And it caused like this huge uproar. It was hilarious.
We did a mock trial, like, Lizzie Denning, known as Poulterson, who is our director, and who I hope will be our Francisca if we ever do a sequel. And she's fantastic. But she went up there, and I went up there, and I was the defense saying that Edgeworth was straight, and she was the prosecution saying that he was gay. We didn't even know we were doing this panel. We were told, like, go do a panel, and we just made this up on the fly. And I went up, and I was like, my name is Claire de Isles. I'm a defense attorney, and this is my very first case. So of course you know I can't lose. And Lizzie goes up there and goes, I think she said
She was
fanatic.
Francie, wasn't she?
No.
She said no. She said, I think I'm fanatic. I'm a prosecutor, and I'm only 5 years old. It was amazing. And we like called people up to be witnesses, and like I called one guy on who had a green shirt and a camera, so I randomly was like, older Cody Hackins.
And that name stuck for the rest of the convention.
Yeah,
All
everyone
the
kept calling him that. People who we didn't even know were like, oh my god, it's older Cody Hackins. And he's like, leave me alone. I'm not with them. And we even made up a character description for him. It said, Job sells his old action figures on eBay. To Edgeworth, he buys all of them. But that was a crazy panel.
That
And
was hilarious.
at the end, the conclusion was forever alone. He's not gay or straight or bi. He's lonely. Oh, so Ronery. But I love Edgeworth. Don't get us wrong. He's one of our favorite characters. We just
love trolling him.
Yeah.
So, since you guys mentioned conventions, and this can be totally edited out, but I gotta do some self-promotion and promotion for my friends or whatever you want to call it. Have you guys heard of MagFest at all?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I have.
I've heard of it.
I went to last year's.
Yeah. I know you did.
Okay.
You did.
So, I actually do a lot of helping out with MagFest, and it is the music and gaming festival. Usually it's sort of focusing on sort of remixes and bands that were covering video game music, but it's expanded lately. But seeing as how you guys do what you do, it sounds like you guys would be a good fit for it, so I definitely advise you to check it out, and see if you can't score a panel or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, send us the link or something.
Wouldn't it be kind of late to get a panel there for this year's though?
Yeah,
It's
when
in
is
like
this?
2 months.
That's kind of how MagFest rolls. So.
Besides, Aaron, we're divas. We like kick down the doors and we're like, we're Turnabout Musical, so where's our panel?
Yeah.
But Turnabout Musical, hire us.
And if they won't, and if they don't, hire us. And if they won't, we'll just run around to the boring panels and take over again. Play Broken Picture Telephone like last time.
Yes.
Official panel.
Hey guys, we're gonna have a cosplay contest, cause why not?
It's like a crazy 4-day party, and as much as I hate to say this because it kills me inside, basically no rules.
Oh, no rules.
No rules, just right.
I'll have a heart attack.
That's chaos.
You say no rules,
So they can just like set up an impromptu panel just wherever.
when they say no rules, people assume like this horrible, deep, dark, horrible thing. But when we
Dystopian.
hear no rules, Turnabout Musical assumes random musical numbers. Try to run around with
My
piano all
friends
day.
who run MagFest last year had an hour-long panel that devolved into a discussion of llama dick. Just
What?
throwing that out.
Okay.
What?
It was a discussion about whether llamas had dicks or not. Because we couldn't find any...
Oh.
Oh, I heard that as one word. That's why.
Yeah,
I
I
was
did
like,
not.
what?
Right.
Anyway. Anyway, moving on.
Right. Don't be
That's
self-do that
disgusting, man. Let's go.
How dare you,
all the
sir.
conversations. This is why I'm the head of Turnabout Musical, for that reason. No.
Actually, Pleady, I think there was something you and I were talking about possibly doing in emails, remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
If,
So
if,
everyone-
if it's doable, if there's enough time, if not,
Turnabout Musical people. These GameCola amateurs here challenged us to a sing-off.
Oh.
Oh,
I
snap,
can't
dog.
on that.
So we each get to nominate one person.
Michael Gray.
Depends what I'm singing.
It's A Whole New World from Aladdin. And we've been assigned Jasmine's part, and I'm nominating either Aram Nyes or Triforce Fun.
I nominate Aram.
I like that idea.
Nose. That's
Too
we're
late.
playing the nose
We
game.
can't tell.
Wait a
In your
minute, that's
falsetto,
Aladdin.
Aaron. You have to do it in your falsetto. Otherwise, Mystery Matt, you can do it because you're Edgeworth. No, yeah. Mystery Matt, you do it. They love Edgeworth so much. You should be their Jasmine. Let them serenade you. They love you so much.
I don't think the harmony's going to work too terribly well on Skype, though, to be honest.
Yeah,
That's
Mic
okay.
lag.
Sing off. Just compete.
you can't
It's
compete
on,
with
guys. Sing off.
And I think on our team we need one of the Michaels who is more up for it.
Which
I'm
one?
all for it right now, actually.
Mike Ridgway it is.
What?
Try. What if you sing Jasmine's part completely as Zoidberg?
A whole new world! Why not?
whole new world.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord.
Guys, I'm leaving.
No.
That's Roger Smith.
Saying.
Do it as Roger. Yeah, try do it as Roger. Chocodiles, please.
A whole new world. I'm hoping there might be some food. Perhaps.
Oh gosh.
Never switches.
Try. I got you some chocodiles.
Got some chocodiles. Oh man, hand them over here.
So Try, his girlfriend Sarah, and our friend Chris, we drove all the way from North Carolina to Louisiana together. And the whole time, to keep Try awake when he was driving, I kept saying, "Hey Try, you want some chocodiles?" And he would wake up and go, "Pleady, these chocodiles. Oh my God, these chocodiles, like Roger." So when we got to Louisiana, I bought him some like Swiss cakes and said, "Look, Try, I got you some chocodiles." And he turns around and you know what he says to me?
Pretty sure I asked for pecan sandies.
After a whole car
Apparently you're
trip,
Charles
he says
Nelson Riley.
pretty sure I asked for pecan sandies.
The whole
It
trip.
goes in his face.
Throw them back at you. That's exactly what he would do.
So Charles Nelson Riley is what you're saying here.
Okay, so are we ready? Are we doing this?
Well, what are we doing?
If you're gonna
No. Aren't we going to edit this in? Or wasn't this Paul's idea?
Yes.
Oh, no.
What?
I'm totally confused. No, we were having a huge fight earlier on, and then we'll pretend we can put this in at the fight. Say there's only one way to settle this argument about whether or not the loss is a horrible parent, and that's with the sing-off.
Oh.
I think Jetty might already have a bit of an editing project here.
I can handle it.
No, that's not.
Hopefully.
You can easily pick this up and throw that there, and it makes it seem like we're doing the sing-off to determine the battle.
All right.
I can open your eyes. Apollo Justice was a good game. Unlike Investigations, that one was really super lame.
It's the heart. I can't sing right now. My voice is still dead.
You are so wrong. Edward is the fucking man. Apollo Justice is just a little whiny bitch. Apollo Justice
was a good game.
is so
I think
wrong.
you're
Edward is the best.
And if you're gonna something sucky. At least you should try to say it in the right key.
I have two
Please
years.
don't transpose.
Although I will admit,
We are like shooting stars. We've come so far. I think we've left GameCola in the dust.
Right out, to see. Yeah.
You guys totally messed that
I need a
up.
pitch fight.
Yeah,
What
you
do
totally bombed it.
There was the
Who
sing-off.
won?
Done.
Yeah.
I think you just did
I
it.
think it's an outmatch, and here's the catch. By doing this, you agree to replay that game.
No.
Go replay it.
Here's
It's
why I
in the fine
won't.
print in the email.
Let's go replay that game.
There's no challenge after you beat it. It's like, oh, what clue do I use here? Oh, this one, right? Okay.
No, that's how I felt about Investigations. I was always 4 steps ahead of Edgeworth. He was the dumbest character I've ever seen.
Investigations was way more tedious.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I'm with Aram. I thought it was
on
okay.
karma.
I'm like the black sheep of the project because everyone else gets together and is like, guys, let's talk about how much investigation sucks. And I'm like, well, I acknowledge that it has flaws, but no, shut up.
Tom,
Yeah.
the only reason you like Investigations is because when Karma has earrings and you think that makes him a gangster, okay? That's the only reason.
No, that's pretty much the
He's
reason.
always had earrings.
We had this
In all
conversation.
fairness, even with its flaws, I played it and I still enjoyed it. Sorry, I'm done.
I was just gonna say we had this conversation driving to what was it? Was it when we were driving the Chick-fil-A's that time?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We were also having this conversation back from AZ when you, me, and Aaron were in my car, remember?
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
that was a fun drive.
So we discussed Investigations for basically the entirety of a car ride from like the southern tip of North Carolina to Northern Virginia.
Oh, jeez.
And then
Yeah.
we ate candy.
maybe we shouldn't go there then, because that was like a 4.5 hour
Yeah,
drive.
I kind of faded in and out during that.
I think this Apologists versus Investigations thing should be a completely separate podcast, which I will then win with another musical number. But besides that, try and write it.
Oh my.
No,
Try
Paul,
right in front
Paul
and
will
teach it.
debate you all
Shut
over
up.
the crowd.
Now that will be a podcast.
Sweetie, I don't have the passion of that subject that you seem to about it.
Oh, we posted the overture already.
What's up,
Were there any other questions or anything? It feels like we're sort of.
I had some questions, but this conversation, Apollo Justice and Kay Faraday, is anybody on that trip?
What? No!
Hey, oh God!
You said it's taboo.
Why?
You just said
I think fairly much older than Apollo's.
You just
Guys,
opened
I don't know if
Pandora's
you've ever heard.
box.
There's a thick personality dialysis, which like
Oh God, Pleady wrote it.
Yes,
like
post it.
you don't have proof of that. Everyone always accuses me, but there's no proof
Oh,
I wrote it.
Okay.
you said
real
I
que-
don't have proof.
Aram Nyes did a dramatic reading of that fic because he thought it was so funny, and
Well,
it's
we were in it,
basically
too.
Yeah, well, we played like the girl parts for him, even though he does amazing women. But he did sing "I'll Be There" that one time. So, but besides that,
True.
yeah, Kay Faraday I think was a pretty horrible self-insert Mary Sue.
Yep.
The thing that I have with, and I don't want to hold it against the character, but the thing is, Kay Faraday was designed for one case, but since they liked her character so much in that one case, they tried fitting her in all of the other cases, and in a lot of those cases, it just didn't work. So the game suffered because of that, trying to make a bigger plot out of a smaller thing, and that's one of the many reasons I don't like the game, and I don't want to hold it against that character. But since she's such a pivotal reason as why everything else seems to have had a struggle, it's kind of hard to separate the two for me. And that's from Maxie.
It's like they tried very hard to make a sidekick for Edgeworth, and it even comes through in who she is. She's like, I am sidekick. I am the sidekick of Edgeworth. And she's like, whoa, wait a minute.
The real thing is, and the reason why Pleady and I kind of struggle with this the most is Edgeworth is, and yes, when he's in court, he shows that, that strongness. That's because he's trying to, impress Von Karma, because he wants Von Karma to see him as not a horrible, failure. Because he's not the family, he's not the bloodline, so in court, he has to be this strong thing. But on his own, when you see him interacting with Phoenix and Nick, when he's trying to say thank you, he gets horribly, antisocial and bottled up and confused and stuff. And then to see him, having a girl that's claiming to be a thief so easily associate with him when he's never met her before is really hard to grasp. a character that would have worked so much better with is if they used the same general overarching premise, even without knowing her parents, because we know nothing about her parents or anything about her life situation. Emma Skye would have been a perfect fit. And that kind of bothers us too.
Because he had more of a reason to... I mean, the thing is, Phoenix, we get it. Phoenix is inclined towards letting random girls come with him to crime scenes. That's because it's Phoenix. But Edgeworth is not Phoenix. And trying to fit that same formula just... It was really jarring because Edgeworth, you know, he isn't the type to let some random civilian tromp all over his crime scene, let alone one who's underage and who keeps saying she's a thief. He hates criminals. Why is he going to let a thief step all over his crime scene? I mean, he doesn't even seem to have much of a tolerance for Gumshoe, and Gumshoe's supposed to be there. So why would he have a tolerance for this random girl who keeps claiming she's a thief? It didn't make any sense. And we thought Emma would have made more sense if they really needed a female character, which I didn't think they did because they had Gumshoe and they had Francisca if they needed a girl really. But if they really needed a cute female character to be like his assistant, Emma would have made more sense because at least she's his ex-boss's sister and he knows her.
I'm gonna stop you here because it's already... I can see where this is going.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Whereas I can see vast expanse of time stretching out in front of me.
Maybe we should
Okay, but what I've been trying to get to is...
No.
No.
It's unrelated to that. What I've been trying to get on topic...
Pleady. Down.
I've been trying to get to on topic.
No, Pleady, no.
Let her finish.
No, I'm serious. What I wanted to close with was the trailer audio, so if people want to play that at this point.
Yes.
Pleady, on topic? It's
That's
more
what
possible
I'm
than you
trying to get to, and you guys kept derailing. I wanted to talk about the trailer audio. What this is, it's an overture that Tri made with several songs, most of which Tri wrote, but some which other people wrote and Tri, remixed for the overture. He put it together. It's really nicely put together, and then we put a whole bunch of lines from the musical over it to make the trailer. So when we have the animation ready, we'll release the full trailer. But for now, here's the audio. So there you go.
Phoenix Wright, you're late. You're that lawyer, Mia's partner. Phoenix, right?
Right. I'm Phoenix Wright.
Are you here about the morning too?
Yes. I'm a defense attorney, Phoenix Wright.
Is this Phoenix Wright, attorney at law?
You're going down tomorrow, Harry Bunce.
It's Phoenix Wright.
My name's Mia. I'm an attorney.
And I'm Phoenix Wright.
Who's next? I'm an acolyte. A medium in training.
The spirit medium. With ESP and all that stuff?
All the Fey women have a strong connection to the spirit world.
Good luck, my boy. That girl's a handful for any defense attorney. Never mind fighting against the demon prosecutor himself.
Demon prosecutor?
Why, none other than Miles Atticus Edgeworth. I guess he was kind of lame.
Edgeworth? I've heard the rumors about the demon prosecutor. They say there's nothing you won't do to get a guilty verdict.
Taking on the vulgar tactics of your dead mentor, I see.
Leave Mia out of this! She was twice the lawyer you'll ever be.
You did great, right?
Is this what it feels like? To win? I could get used to this.
Jumping Jerusalem! Oh, goodness, my boy. You startled me. You can't just barge into rooms unprovoked like that. Who do you think you are? Damon Gant?
Listen, kid, I'm not the real Santa. I'm sorry you didn't get that rocket ship. It's not my fault your dad said no. Just please stop.
By using a metal detector and an actual person will not help us at all in this case. Ever.
Have you finally decided to run the family pasta shop? I'm so proud.
That was a colossal...
We know! Well, I'd like to cross-examine the witness's parrot, of course.
I guess you were lucky to have the Fey sisters on your side. She's dying. Help her!
Case closed, pal. You and I got a date downtown.
No! Let me go! I'm not the killer! Help me! Help me, please!
She was a first-class lawyer, too. Mia, she always knew what to do.
Don't think you're getting away that easily.
Hey!
You should have seen your face!
Mia, Chief,
What are you talking about? It's me, silly! Did I look like my sister?
Maya, what are you doing here?
I thought you might be lonely cleaning up the office by yourself, so I dropped by to help. Gee, Nick, you're really disorganized, huh?
Hey, Wait, Nick?
The Steel Samurai? Nick! The Steel Samurai just cured the evil magistrate with a samurai spear!
Is that how you're going around explaining this?
I don't see the evil magistrate's malicious mausoleum anywhere. Is it on the map?
You know, it might be. Can't tell where a single thing is.
Hey, a ladder!
That's a step ladder, actually.
What's the difference? You've got to stop judging things based on narrow-minded cultural assumptions, Nick.
You, the Steel Samurai, have disgraced me for the last time.
Objection!
I object to the witness's talkative. This.
What did you say, whippersnapper? No! The samurai never listens to anyone! Ever!
Congratulations, Mr. Wright, Mr. Edward. You two make quite the team.
I've heard a lot about you, you know. She'd always talk about her junior partner when we spoke on the phone.
Don't worry. We'll find the one who did this to Mia.
We'll never forget this. Not me. Or my sis.
Honestly, Phoenix, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times.
Maya? For a second I almost thought you sounded like...
Never give up.
Mia? I still can't believe it. I did it! Prosecutor is someone named Von Karma?
Von Karma is a god among lawyers. He will do anything to win. Anything.
Judge, this new testimony leaves no room for doubt. I demand you declare your guilty verdict this very instant. Did they teach you absolutely nothing in law school? In a court of law, evidence is required. Deny it. Deny it now!
This whole time, after all these years, it was you?
Don't waste time doubting facts. Or doubting yourself. Just look at him sweat. You have to break through the fog of lies and deception to unveil the truth. We must always believe in our clients. The real challenge begins now, Phoenix. You're getting closer, right? Don't let him slither between your fingers. And at last, this case finally begins to unwind.
I guess it made me realize none of us are ever really alone in this, are we?
That's the spirit! Believe in your inner Gordy!
I just wanted to be the first to say, here's to the man of the hour, the one and only Nick.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? I mean, honestly, think about it, pal. Who knows where any of us would be without your help?
Let's all hear it for Phoenix Wright!
I've got only one thing to say. Objection!
To be fair, she has been trying to mention that for at least half an hour.
Okay.
No, and you guys keep bringing up investigations. I told you in the email, don't bring up investigations.
Confession time. No, here's the confession time.
It's on the rider.
Excuse me, I didn't get a memo.
No, I have a confession to make about.
It'll ruin everything.
No, but I have a confession to make about Ace Attorney Investigations 2, which is not being released here.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah?
I kind of want that game to be released just because at the beginning of Case 4, somebody tries to kill Kay Faraday. That's wrong of me to want to see the scene where somebody tries to kill her.
But we know how that case ends, and that makes me want to rip out my throat.
Yeah. I have no idea how it ends, so no spoilers.
I
so
won't, but
I'm not going there.
Makes me want to punch.
Edward quits law for her.
What?
Yeah. What? Being a prosecutor for
No!
In defense.
No, that doesn't happen. You are liars. You are
I'm not lying.
dirty
That's what
liars.
I'm
Not lying.
Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death.
Yes.
No.
Over
Yes.
a girl. Yeah, she gets
La,
really
la, la,
injured.
la, 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 la,
So can I safely assume that that's everyone's favorite ship then?
No!
Yes.
Don't go
Yes, you can, sir.
My favorite ship is Edward Forever Alone. And then Larry Franzi. Guys, Larry Francisco would be awesome. You know why? Because Larry and Francisco would invite Edgeworth to dinner, and Larry would be like, man, Edgeworth, last night I was banging the hottest chick, and he'd be like, Larry, consider your audience. And Larry'd be like, sorry, man, sorry. So last night I was banging your hot sister, see? And it was totally awesome. And Edgeworth would hate everyone. And if you tried to tell Francisca, she would be totally cocky and be like, you're just mad because I beat you at something, Miles Edgeworth.
Okay, well, I tried to listen to all the songs from the highlights from Turnabout, from the highlights CD, and then come up with questions, but I forgot to write them down, so...
Welcome to the GameCola podcast.
Yeah, what did you think of it?
I think I know what your question was. Yes, Tom did really tase both Tri and I to get us to scream like that.
We had to do a lot of takes, too. I'm surprised you guys held...
You just kept tasing Tri. Like, you tased me once, but you were, like, going to town on Tri. I don't know what that was about.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, because you got tased over and over again.
Like that.
Well, I mean, if you're going to sell it, I mean, you might as well go all the way.
No, wait. So, what did you think of the songs then? What did you think of the CD? You listened to it, so what did you think?
I listened to it several times. I was going to ask questions about how you guys came up with the voices. I mean, were you picking somebody because they did I mean, how much did singing ability come into play with picking the voices? Because
there was a casting. There were a few casting sessions. I guess.
More than a few.
Where basically, we had line readings. We originally had line readings for just Maya and Phoenix, and all the male, people auditioning would read those lines and they would sing whichever part of the song that we had. And same thing for Maya. And then after that, we began kind of narrowing it down. Like we had several people that we wanted to audition for, like Red White, and so there'd be a portion of Red White song or lines. And eventually, that's how we kind of got everyone.
But I was specifically thinking of the person who plays Mia isn't here, is she? I don't want to insult her.
Mm-mm.
She's not here. But I mean, in the objection song. During the bridge, she hits like some crazy high notes. I'm like, yeah.
Mia?
So this judge is rather old.
It's hearing lots of fine. He's slowly getting involved, and he needs some kind of sign.
Yeah,
actually that song because we wanted it to be. I don't know.
See, you can hit
I can hit those notes as well, but I mean, it's like, why? Who made the decision to make those notes that high?
That was me, because that part is so ridiculous. Thinking about the judge.
Mia was originally an alto.
Yeah, I told her since she's singing about this old man going bald and losing his hearing, that I wanted to be as beautiful as possible. So hit those high notes. That's what I told her, and she did. And that's how we got that ridiculously operatic part from that very
interesting.
Well, a lot of the songs. Well, a lot of the songs were part composer, well, most of the composers and lyric writers. And then of course, the actors, the singers always have some input. And the thing with Mia was, Tri originally wrote Justice for All as Mia's song, and it's kind of the theme in the musical. But I guess it's always difficult for our male composers to write for women and for our female composers to write for men, so ranges are wonky. And that song was really hard because it had some higher parts, but it started really low. So we needed an alto to be Mia. And luckily Sarah had a great enough range that she was able to do the low notes and sound fantastic and maternal, but at the same time, strong and young. She was a great Mia. I always wanted her to be Mia personally. She was amazing. And when we did the objection song, I mean, she just had such a great range that Tri was able to get her to do things like that high note in the objection song. So I think while the song, we had a set idea of what range we wanted these characters to be, we were able to expand upon that in the songs once we had our voice actors and we understood what their ranges were. Like, in I'll Be There, I added this random high note because I preferred to sing up rather than sing down because I was more comfortable in my higher register. And in the same way, Reawakening had to be completely rewritten because the song we had before that, which was Awakening, was written by someone who had a very high male range. And while Tri, he's a tenor, not a countertenor. And so he wrote it more to tenor range.
Yeah, that seems to happen a lot with the vocal ranges needing to be reshuffled. I know when I came in, I looked at probably 3/4 of the songs that Edgeworth is in, and I'm thinking, this is either too low or too high.
No doubt you looked at The Jump.
Oh, Lord. Here, oh yeah, that was a point of much contention among a lot of different people.
Sorry, they don't know what you're talking about when you say jump, because it's not on the CD.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah,
What songs is Edgeworth in besides the one?
He's
Hey,
actually...
he's in Samurai Always Wins.
Yeah, he's in Samurai
Yep.
Always Wins as well on the highlights.
I
CD.
couldn't
He's also
tell
in...
what was going on in Samurai Always Wins because 5 people were singing at the same time and they're all singing different things.
That's my fault.
Counter melody.
Yeah.
Well, I think
It used to
all-
just be 3 people singing all at once, which was a little bit easier to handle. But now there's like 5, and
Yeah.
it repeats and
Yeah,
gets
Troy,
more
were
and
you
make
going
chaotic.
for a One Day More kind of vibe with that?
No, it
No, that
was supposed to be chaos, yeah. But just the
Yeah,
lyrics
that's
are up on the website if you want to check what they are.
Oh, okay. I'll have to do that then.
Yeah.
What's the website's address?
pwmusical.com.
I made it a point not to have any lyrics repeat because I knew people would look up the lyrics, so I wanted them to be unique for every person. So I had a lot of fun with it.
I always enjoyed that about the Samurai Always Wins. That's what it made the craziness of this courtroom very well. So, personally, I like it.
I like it too. I mean, it was really, because it doesn't sound bad. You can't make everyone out, but it all blends nicely. And I think it's just, it's supposed to be chaos. You're not supposed to be able to quite make everything out. You can kind of hear Phoenix object, kind of hear Edgeworth object, and then the judge saying, overruled, overruled, and you don't know quite what's going on. And that was the idea, that it was supposed to be utter chaos.
But, getting back, explain some
right,
other
the
songs and the jump. You need the jump.
Okay. Do you want me to say what other songs Edgeworth is in, or do the jump?
Yeah,
first?
you might as well tell them the other songs because they don't know, and then explain what the jump is.
Okay, well, the 2 songs that he's in the highlight CD are obviously The Decree and Samurai Always Wins, and in the full soundtrack, along with those 2, he's in a song called Alone, which takes place in the, with Edgeworth behind bars and Phoenix and Maya trying to convince him to let them help him. And he's also in... that what
Just
what have we
finish.
said? Yeah. And he's also in the big penultimate number, Tomorrow at Last, which is right going into the final dramatic courtroom scenario. And he's also in a couple of the testimonies, and the role is mostly dialogue. It's just I get a couple of really meaty songs to work with. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, you get the single longest song in the musical, and it's entirely you.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, even my big musical number has Tri butting in every few seconds.
Yeah. Although I will say that is a hell of a workout to do in one go. But I digress. Anyway, the jump. So, Edgeworth's big song on the highlight CD and in the show in general is The Decree of the Prosecutor. And originally, as it was originally composed, at the end of the song, he holds a note and then jumps up a fifth. And
Wait, I'm afraid I have to interject for a minute.
Yes.
That,
Objection.
Objection. Oh, great. Wow. How did I do that? Careful. Okay. The original version is actually like it is now. The jumping up a fifth was actually...
that's right.
Yeah, that was an addition.
Sorry about that, Brad.
Sorry about that. Carry on.
Yeah, anyway, so the most broadly heard demo, I suppose, was Actorman's, which had the jump at the end, going from the held note to a fifth above.
I don't think they know what that means. You should demonstrate it.
Yeah, sing it.
Okay,
or I will.
Just do it in a lower key, and you should be able to manage it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear this.
At the end, it's, and we'll meet again, Phoenix Wright. And in the original, in Actorman's version at least, he went up, right, or something that sounds a little less crappy than that.
Ooh, guys,
I'm trying to be
I got
quiet.
another example.
Think anything by John Williams. Superman, Star Wars, anything.
Yeah.
Another example is the whole new world, because I'm looking at the sheet music right now, and it goes, I can show you the world, and I hold it, then I jump up a fifth, shining, shimmering, so that's a jump as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really just in the opposite direction to that, but yeah, that's a good example. And a lot of people, it was very contentious among both the forums and the leadership. Some people liked it as the way it was originally composed, which was just staying in a uniform note, and a lot of people really liked Actorman's version. When I was cast, that was really the first major question that I was asked: what are you going to do with the jump? So I tried it 3 different ways. I tried it as it was originally composed, with the jump, and then with a crazy high octave jump that was ludicrously high. And I just did it for shits and giggles mostly. Yeah. And the problem with the jump was that every time I tried it, even getting as far away from the microphone as possible, I would top out the mic. I could not do it. For the life of me, I could not do it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm making an executive decision. No jump. Done.
Yeah, I actually really liked the way the jumps sounded. The problem was that it made it basically impossible for anyone other than Actor Man to sing that, because he's got a ludicrously high range.
Oh yeah, he's the one who does the Grossberg songs on the CD.
Yeah.
He's Grossberg.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
Yeah, we basically just ended up splitting the difference and had the strings in the background do the jump while I stayed on the note, and really the best of both worlds, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Part of me still misses the jump, but yeah, exactly.
I don't miss having to do it.
I know.
I still think MM needs to put some vibrato in there.
So what was your favorite song for anyone who's listened to the highlight CD?
It's got to be the Butts.
Yes, that's my favorite.
And that leads me to a question: is the guy who does Leary, is that his normal voice, or is he singing in character?
That's pretty much
his normal voice. Okay.
No way! You're kidding me.
All the characters were cast, they auditioned and we cast them, except for Larry, because Larry, somewhere along the lines, because of that song, Larry became my favorite character. It's all Tri's fault, because of that song. And I had to have the perfect Larry, and nobody made me happy. Nobody was good enough. And I went on an internet-wide search. I just had to find the perfect Larry. I listened to tons of Phoenix Wright fan dubs, Phoenix Wright radio things, whatever. I searched everywhere. And I finally found an old read-through of the first case on court records. It had been done forever ago. And I sent the link to one of our project members, Shawnee, who plays Penny Nichols, is also on the art team. I told her, I don't care how, find this person. And she, traced the source of it, found out who was hosting it, contacted that person, found out his email, emailed him, and said, so the project head of Turnabout Musical wants you to be Larry. What do you say? And the guy, luckily, was very much like Larry. Was like, baby, whatever, for a hot chick, I'll sing anything. And so...
You got it, Pops.
You got it, Pops. And so, he's our Larry, and I love him.
It's funny because he'll be sitting around outside or whatever, on his computer, and he'll take pictures from his laptop. And every time he's cold or whatever, and he'll make this face, and it's okay, that's a Larry face. This guy is Larry. He's posing like Larry. He's saying it's like Larry or whatever. It's I don't know how we ended up with Larry Butts actually in our musical, but I think we have Larry Butts cast in our musical as himself. So, but yes, he's fun. A little weird. It's fun. Did you have any other questions in that regard, then?
Other questions. I'll be there. You've talked about that. Is that supposed to be a love song or not? Because
no.
I mean, okay,
I sort of get those vibes because it's a duet and they're singing about how they're always supporting each other.
Well, that could be easily a friendship song too.
Well,
I think the great part about that song is the fact that it's open to interpretation like that, just like in the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of open to interpretation.
Honestly,
so
I think even if you ship Phoenix and Maya, I think that would have to be kind of a future thing. Because at that point, she's 17 and her sister just died, and I don't think she's thinking about getting into a relationship with a guy she just met at that moment. I think at that time, I've met someone who understands me, someone that I'm going to fight for justice with. I found a purpose. I don't think 17-year-old who just lost basically the closest thing to a parental figure she has is thinking about a relationship at that moment. So, I mean, if you do ship Phoenix and Maya, I think maybe that would be a future development, not at the time that I'll Be There takes place. I just don't think it's placed at a good time for a relationship.
Yeah,
doesn't mean one couldn't come, but I don't think that it's at the point of I'll Be There that's what's happening.
Another question. How far apart would, say, the three songs, the Objection Song, Justice for All, and Reawakening, how far apart would those be?
There's
in the actual finished project? Because in the game itself, it's a 1-minute jump between the end of case number 1 and then Mia getting killed. And you have 3 songs covering that time span.
I'll Be There is before the end of the first case. That's kind of
exact. Yeah. What happens is, okay, so the objection song happens, and then Phoenix starts to lose. And there's one song that isn't on this CD that will be on the full CD called The Rookie Killer, which Payne sings. It's really short. And, Payne kind of gloats, and Mia asks for a recess. And that's when Justice for All happens, during the recess when she tells him, don't give up. They go back in and win the case. And then as Phoenix is going home, we have Reawakening. And
okay,
I love how
that
your
makes
big.
sense.
I love how your big moment to describe the Rookie Killer song is it's short.
It's short. It's hilarious.
It's not really a song. It's kind of 2 lines.
It's an interlude.
Guys, it's the
It's kind
only
of Payne
song
being jealous that everyone else gets to sing, so he sings something. That's pretty much it.
It's the only song on our CD that has a real live woodwind instrument and not a computerized one. It has a kazoo.
Were there any other soundtrack questions?
Yeah.
Soundtrack questions.
No, I don't think I have any other soundtrack question. Red, White, and You. Clever song title, by the way. I like that one.
Cool.
It's
Little known fact, I voice Red White. No, I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Red White makes the rules.
Red White plays the cards. I can only hum it.
If I could have sung that song well, I would have loved to take a crack at Red White, if only because my Red White voice is just a ripoff of Snagglepuss.
You should have anyway.
Red White makes the rules.
Red White makes the rules. I'm the king of the jungle.
Funny story. Red White, since we were talking about Aladdin, Red White and You is very reminiscent of Friend Like Me from Aladdin. And the part where Phoenix reprises Reawakening and says, Mia Fey knew all about your operation. That references another Aladdin song at the end. He says, no more will you paralyze with fear. Does anyone recognize that?
I think of that every single time I hear that part of the song.
Now
every
we're in a whole new world. That's totally what that part is.
Paralyze with your unbelievable sight.
Did I write that?
That's how Red White drops. No more will you paralyze with fear, unbelievable sight. Oh my god.
Indescribable feeling.
Outtake. We need to have that as an outtake.
Yeah, okay, moving right along
No,
now.
Aram, you know what we need to have as an outtake?
What's that?
What was it, where they're in the detention center and they're like, but don't you remember, Nick, what Gumshoe said? Gumshoe, Mr. Edgeworth kept gazing out the window and going, right.
Wrong, wrong, wrong. I do not sound anything like that.
Crikey. We were saying, like, Maya and Gumshoe, whenever they imitate Edgeworth, should do a completely different accent. Like, Gumshoe does a Cockney accent, Maya does an Australian accent, and no one can imitate Edgeworth. Even
Jetty, do you think it's time to start wrapping up?
Yeah, I'm all out of questions about the soundtrack because I basically listened to like the first 5 things over and over again because they were awesome.
Oh, thanks, guys.
It's just me. None of the other GameCola guys ever listened to it, Paul.
I listened to it too.
Sure.
How dare you,
I listened to it right when
In
it
my
came out.
defense,
Be prepared.
I'm lazy.
You're lazy, but if you listen to it, it might inspire you.
Well, then I will listen to it now, but before this, I was very lazy and very tired.
You can listen to it while doing other things, like lying around or playing video games.
Listen to it while editing.
You sound like an infomercial.
I don't think any of the GameCola guys play video games.
Oh.
God, you know, it's a
That's
little
just
bit true right now.
There are times when you'll feel lazy and I don't know what rhymes with.
I don't know.
I had to rhyme that.
Depleted.
Okay,
No,
seriously.
There are times
You
when
are
you'll
like
feel
2
lazy
steps away from
and
Mary frickin' Poppins.
motivated.
Very freaking pop.
And sometimes you see your game site and feel sated. There's no need to go outside. Stay indoors, play Phoenix Wright.
Thank you, Mary Poppins.
No, that's from the soundtrack. That's Justice for All.
Yeah, you would know that if you listened.
If you
Yeah,
listen-
exactly.
Yeah.
I've been
That's
singing
I
songs.
have a very
songs the old
like
time.
history of saying things or talking about things that I know nothing about. So, and then getting showed up for it. But, hey, why stop
Ladies and
there?
gentlemen, Mia Fey.
Mia Fey, you're late.
Yes! They had an interesting question, and I think you should answer it, Sarah. If Mia Fey could possess anybody, not just members of the Fey family, who do you think she should possess?
Oh, definitely Phoenix.
Is she gonna look at herself in front of the mirror and go, I'm a pretty, pretty boy?
No, she should just possess the judge because she already knows everything, the way it seems like she already knows the way the trial.
I would just pick the right answer every
so
time.
if she just possessed the judge,
do his job.
Done.
Possess the judge, and he'll just say, "Not guilty."
Right, sure.
Every single time before the trial starts.
Theory about why the judge is so dumb.
And the robe would hide the
gavel
giant
accident.
So
We had a theory about the judge that, okay, follow us on this. In the future, old Larry Butts gets sent back in time to prevent Phoenix from losing his badge. But he time travels too far back, too many years back, and he's old and senile, so he doesn't remember what he's trying to prevent. He just remembers that it's something about that Phoenix Wright guy. And so that's why the judge is always picking on Phoenix, because it's old senile Larry.
This kind of reminds me of that theory that Dumbledore was actually Ron Weasley, traveled back in time.
Oh, wow.
Getting back at that Potter. Yeah.
No, I wrote a fanfic where Pearl Fey went back in time to prevent Phoenix from losing his badge.
She got
She
distracted.
The way she convinced Maya, she managed to get through by convincing Maya with the season 6 box set, the DVD of Steel Samurai. And Maya's like, wait, we just got season 4. How do you have the season 6 box set? You must be from the future.
Well, that proves it.
That totally proves it.
Well, I mean, if we're done,
We're done with the podcast, right? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap.
Sure.
We haven't even reached 3 hours yet.
Was that the goal?
I was gonna say, guys, I was just kidding about the 3-hour podcast.
Well, we still need to do housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
All right.
We briefly mentioned it earlier in the podcast, but I think we need to let all the listeners know where they can actually find all the things you're talking about, your website, your songs, everything.
PWmusical.com. The highlight CD is available for download for free. That's 15 out of the 30 songs we did for this musical.
PWmusical.com.
Yes, and you can find
Also,
the links to the lyrics and forums and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say the links to all of our DeviantArt, our Facebook, our Twitter, and any other sites that we have, like our YouTube, they're all linked right there on our site. So if you don't know them, they're
And
all
a link to the forums too. Everything's there.
Yeah. So, because we do have all that social media.
PWmusical.com.
That again is PWmusical.com.
In case you don't know, it stands for PwnagewinMusical.com.
Yes, Pwnage Win.
Because what else would it stand for?
I thought it was Pee-wee.
Pee-wee? Try.
Pee-wee Musical, there we go.
Try. You've been demoted from slice of man cake to Pee-wee, apparently. No, why? The reason, when we were discussing doing a podcast with someone, the reason I was like, guys, no, it has to be GameCola, is because I saw the article where you called Phoenix and by proxy Tri a slice of man cake.
And it's absolutely
that's
deserved.
He's soft and fluffy, right? This is soft and fluffy, and he's a lie.
You know, it's only very recently that I realized I've already been interviewed by GameCola back in 2009.
That's right.
It's like, oh,
yeah,
that's the
former
same
GameCola writer Zach Rich.
Yeah, for Brawl in the Family.
Yeah.
I tried, whatever.
Funny enough, people recognize me all the time, and when they see me, the first thing they do is go, "Do you know Tri? Do you know Triforce Bun?" All the time.
I don't know. Tri, do you want to plug Brawl in the Family real quick while you're here?
Sure, why not? I do a Nintendo webcomic called Brawl in the Family, and it's at brawlinthefamily.com, and it's about Kirby and Mario and all those other guys. It's fun. I like it.
You guys should watch Brawl in the Family. It won't make you smoke weed.
Thank you.
It won't cause cancer.
Brawl in the Family does not support Pleading Eyes views on...
You should all read Brawl in the Family. It won't make you eat babies.
Or microwave kittens. It really won't.
You should all read Brawl in the Family. It won't make you make a 5-hour musical about a video game, except on rare occasion.
Yes, it is one of those rare symptoms that does actually occur.
Only when read in conjunction with GameCola.
Just like it's never lupus, except that one time.
Is it really a 5-hour musical?
We're cutting it down as much as we can.
Yeah. no. Yeah, for animation purposes.
Hours or so after the script was done, we've trimmed a whole bunch off.
But it is going to be released separately. Like, it's going to be released, it's 4 acts, and it's going to be released by act.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4. And Act 1 is cases 1 and 2. Act 3 is case 3. Act 4...
You skipped Act 2.
Act 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Act 1 is cases 1 and 2. Act 2 is case 3. Act 3 is half 1 of case 4, and Act 4 is part 2 of case 4. There we go. That's how it is.
In all fairness, when fans would get together and do something like this, I mean, the whole reason it's this long is because every time we were like, no, guys, we need to cut this down, everyone was like, no, we have to have that part. We have to have case 3. We have to do that because it shows this side of Edgeworth, and that's...
Yeah,
So,
I was one of the ones that's always rallying for the cutting of case 3. But I'm outnumbered. Does anyone else really need to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
That's probably
I told you, Tri, you should have gone while the art team was talking. Who cares about that?
And on that note,
God, you guys are such jerks.
Aw, we still love Glammy.
hey, the art makes the musical
all
as
the
far as
art
I'm concerned.
emo.
No, the music makes the musical.
Well, obviously they both make the musical, but it was
name.
the video that I saw on YouTube that really drew me into the project, I have to say.
There we go.
Victory.
And as well as the wonderful singing.
You know what I have to say?
Hey.
Thank you for your support. We appreciate that.
So one more time, the website is pwmusical.com.
Yep, you got it, Pops.
Hey.
Hang in there.
So check it out. Also go to our website, GameCola.net. That would be cool too. Anything else, Jetty?
I'm still on this podcast.
I think we should vote for best member of the podcast, and my vote has to go to Mia Fey for Sarah Williams, just for the Mia Fey, you're late.
Hey, they voted for you best.
Thank you guys for inviting us to the podcast.
Yeah, you guys rock.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for indulging us on this our series of
And
wild
letting us take complete control out of your
besides
podcast.
the longest podcast, the
Yeah, I was gonna say.
highest energy podcast. It's been really fun.
Yeah.
Good.
Glad we were entertaining at least.
By the way, Paul, you still never asked Diane's question.
Which one was
Dun 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 dun.
What's Diane's question?
Okay, this is from Diane. Everyone listening?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, and this is to wrap up the show. If you were about to eat a cookie right now, but President Obama ran in, stole your cookie, and yelled, "I want a golden chocobo," then before he ran out, he gave you a phone number, what would you do?
I'd hang up the podcast.
Yeah, I would probably.
I'd call the number and say, "Where's my darn cookie?"
So
Obama
before
said
he
things were going
steals,
to change, and then he took my cookie. I'm not voting for him again.
so he gave us the number before or after he took the cookie, or was that with the?
Let me just clarify here.
It was very specifically after he took the cookie, but before he left.
I would call the number. Wait.
Try to call the number and complain? I would call Tri's number and blame him.
I would call the number from a payphone. Like, where the f*** is my cookie, you son of a gun?
I would make up some conspiracy theory about how he somehow got the Chocobo from Tri, because it's gotta be the Butts is the Chocobo song, and so Tri's somehow behind this and it's all his fault. Also, he ate my cookies at some point. He ate my cookie that Obama stole.
She's shaking her fist angrily. You can't see it, but I can.
I'm sure if I had a delicious, delicious cookie sitting here, I'm sure that Tri would waltz right in and try to eat it.
Like, give him half of it.
Yeah, I would, but it'd be the explosive half.
Okay.
Explode?
Okay, that's it
No.
then.
Jenny's
That's all right.
And on that note,
that's all, folks.
Okay.
Crocodile.
Thanks for. I'm pretty sure you asked for pecan sandies, Try. Anyway, thanks for having us, guys. It was lots of fun.
Yeah.
What kind of
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you guys very much. It was
Thanks
awesome.
for having us.
You're welcome.
Someday we'll learn how to do professional interviews, but not today.
So will we.
So will we.
Have fun editing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoy.
Suckers!
It's fun. Come back someday, the next time we talk about Phoenix Wright, if that happens.
Whoa.
We have a lot of
Are you
features.
talking about Phoenix Wright again?
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey,
Okay, thanks,
All right, that's
guys.
fine.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. See you guys later.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
And thanks again, everyone.
Farewell.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Adios. Sayonara.
Hang on, that echoes my fault.
We're not asking
Jesus
the
Christ.
question about the waffles.
Do it.
What about the one about the
Waffles are better than
pancakes?
pancakes.
I agree.
I kind of agree with
I will
Yeah,
say waffles are better than pancakes, crepes are better than waffles.
I can agree with that, but I think
No
waffles,
way.
I think
I think
waffles
breakfast is breakfast.
Crepes was not on the list. It
I
was
don't think-
waffles, pancakes, and French toast.
Oh, waffles win.
Okay.
I'm not
I
a fan of French toast myself.
I think waffles should not
Waffles
be,
hold the syrup.
I think nothing that delicious should have the word awful in it. So on this podcast, I would like to propose that from now on, we all call waffles Thunderfuls.
No, we should call them Raffles instead.
Raffles? It still has awful in it though. Wonderfuls, guys. They're fun and wonderful.